Hello and welcome to the Side One YouTube channel. My name is Ray, and in this video, part 5 of the R2D2 build, I'm going to work on the skirt, or start working on the skirt in Ring 1. So the skirt is attached to the bottom of Ring 1 when it's made using M6 screws, and fitted into the bottom of the skirt are these M6 Hex Nuts. But the problem with that is once you attach the skirt to the bottom of the Ring 1, you can't access into where the nuts are anymore, and that poses something of a problem. So to get around that problem, there were some holes in the where the nuts are located, and you can put a screw through, wind your nut onto it, and then pump in hot glue, or in my case PETG, molten PETG from a 3D pen. And I've done this with all of the nuts onto these parts. The problem is aligning these parts to then try and weld these seams together is very difficult, because there's nothing to really hold it together until you start to put together the frame. So that's what I'm going to do. So I've welded in all of my nuts, and I've got a heap of screws. These are, good question, how long are they? These are 20mm long. And I'm using these for most of these. For the corners, I'm going to use these, I think they're 30mm long. Yeah, 30mm long screws for each of the corners. Now these 20mm long screws, M6, are only temporary. The 25s in the corners will be permanent, but these ones are only temporary because we will eventually put a plate in on the bottom that will sit on top. So we'll go through the plate, through the ring and into the bottom, so they will need to be slightly longer screws. And then there's a bracing frame that goes in on top of that, which will need even longer screws again for 4 of the screws. But let's start by putting this together. So I've printed out all of the parts for Ring 1 using the PRUSA sliced one, and this goes like so, which means we can easily line up our corner screws. So I'm going to start by putting in our corner screw and assembling this together. Now I will be welding these pieces together, the white to white pieces and the grey to grey pieces, allowing it to separate still, just in case. But I'll put the 25mm screw in the corner, put in my 20mm screw here. That doesn't look right, I've put the wrong piece in. Goes up this end. And put a 20mm screw in here, just to help keep everything aligned. Now I'm not going to do these up overly tight at this stage, because I am going to compress it all together using a strap once I've got all the ring pieces on. It does pay to keep track of which piece is which. I should have probably lettered these or numbered them as I was printing them out, but I haven't. So I've got to keep track of them another way. In this case, I actually store them in the same layout that they will appear when assembled. This one's a bit problematic. Doesn't appear to have taken the screw and the I don't think the nut is held into place properly. So I'm going to have to pull it out and try and redo that screw. So I'll come back to that in a minute. I can do this corner piece. Okay, let's sort out this wayward nut. So this is set for 235 degrees C. So what I'm going to try and do is pump in round with a screw here some more of this PETG, and while I'm doing that I'll use this tool to deflect it into where I need it, because I can't get a straight line on this. And I accidentally hit the eject button. This is so awkward to try and do this. Hopefully that's enough to hold it in place. Okay, so that's our basic assembly done. Now it's a solid piece, sort of. Oops, I just hit the camera. So what I'm going to do now is get a strap and use that to provide a little bit more stability and to pull all the parts in together so that I can tighten it all up and then make sure it's glued together as one solid piece. And that straps all the way around. I've got a little bit of tension on it now. Turn this back over, and now we just make sure all of our pieces are aligned flat. Give it a little bit more tension, and now I can start to weld up my joints. So I'm going to start with this joint. Now these are actually done with a cutout to help key it all together. So I'm going to start at that point. And I just run out of filament. And that's my first seam done. Second seam. So that's 3 done. Four. And I've got one left to do. Okay, so that's all of those welded together. So now I can release this strap because it's not going to go anywhere. And we have here the ring one and the skirt. What I could do now is weld up these inside and possibly bottom seams on the skirt itself. That'll give it some extra strength. I might do the screws up a bit tighter before I do that. I just need to clean up some of the welding leftovers, but that's our first ring and our skirt put together. On the next video, I'm going to do the second ring, and I may even weld the second ring onto the first ring at the same time. I don't want this coming apart in any great hurry. Now, some of the things to note on this, we have these 4 holes, and they are for M4 threaded rods, approximately 500 millimeters long or half a meter, and they go all the way from the bottom through these holes, where we'll put a nut on the bottom, probably a nylock in my case, and they will run up the full height of the body just below the ring. There's a ring that holds a Lazy Susan, and the other nut on the threaded rod will go on that, and that'll hold all of this together when it's all finished. To see when the next video comes out, don't forget to click on like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. It's also a form of support that costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a great deal. If you'd like to help the channel further, I do have a Patreon account and YouTube membership, and you can join my VIP patrons GoLucky and Coburnicus, my All Access Patron Jeff Jerde, my Builder patrons Elmorales45, Andrew Cardone, Airgar69, Stefan Papst, James Kelly, Guy Daumerie, and my YouTube member Magdy Salib in helping to support the channel. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave a comment below or drop into the Discord. There will be a link in the description and you can ask your question there. If I can't answer it, someone else might be able to. And we'll see you in the next video.